cars and scary woods and everything on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today. Coming up later on, our infamous roundtable convenes. We'll get into all sorts of controversies, including the NCAA HB2 fight and many things, plus many other things. But between now and then, some great guest information coming your way. We'll talk about UNCG, what's going on there, and who better to do that than the Chancellor. He'll be here. And we'll also have Eddie Maclaurin from Woods of Terror. Eddie will tell us what's new at the Woods and the big season coming up. And Daggett Shuler will be here, the good folks, David and Griff, talk about a big exciting topic we want you to hear about. It's a big event coming up. But first, speaking of big events coming up, we have two great friends with us who have been here before and they live to tell it. Next to me is our good friend, Lori Bates. Let's meet Rebecca Petty Moffitt, daughter of Richard Petty, of course, as you know. She's been on the show before. She's executive director of the Petty Family Foundation. Next to her, our good friend Russ Stellfox, who's CEO of Petty's Garage. Welcome, folks. Good to see you again.
Thank you for having us.
Rebecca, before I get to Russ, I understand that, well, your daddy told me personally, I'm not making this, he said that you boss him around a lot. Is that true?
He claims that, but he's actually the boss.
Okay.
I have two older sisters, and he said he's got three mother hens looking after him all the time.
He said they were bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. All right,
I'm going to get on to him about that.
Yeah, we're getting controversy. Now we'll go over to Russ. Russ, very quickly, for people that don't know, what is Petty's Garage?
Petty's Garage is a performance center. We build custom and high-performance cars. We do everything from full frame-off restorations to building supercars for Ford and Chrysler. This year we're building a 727 horsepower Mustang, a 670 horsepower Mustang, and we're doing a King Edition 80th Tribute car, which is 825 horsepower. Brand new Mustangs available right from your Ford dealer.
Now, just so people won't be intimidated, it could be, a guy like me that doesn't know that much about cars. I might have a particular thing I want you to make up for me. I mean, I can come in and deal with that, right?
Absolutely. We do a lot of cars for performance upgrades for people who come right in off the street with a standard car they buy, and we take them from maybe a stock 400 car to a 600 car.
Tell me about the cruise in that people like a drive-in, cruise in coming up. What about that?
Well, on October 1st, we're having a cruise-in down at the Petty's Garage in Level Cross. Starts at 8 in the morning, goes to 1 in the afternoon. The tour of the museum is completely free. We're having a complete tour of the Petty Garage, which is completely free. We're going to have the first 200 cars qualify, 200 show cars, qualify for a special award, and that special award is there in front of you, Jim. It's a very unique, the King's belt buckle.
Oh, wow. This is Richard's belt buckle. Holy mackerel, it'll be a great award. So anybody that has a car and just sort of register and get in there and do it. We'll put up on screen this thing in a minute, but before time runs out, I want to go to Rebecca because there are a couple of big things coming up charity-wise through the foundation. And one is, well, they're sort of tied together. It's a golf thing and there's a dinner and an auction beforehand. Tell me about it.
Well, there's a dinner the night before, and it will be held at the museum right in the middle of the trophies and the cars and everything, and that's on Tuesday, October the 4th. And it's followed the next day by golf at Sedgefield.
Now, what kind of things will be auctioned at the dinner and the auction the night before the golf?
Well, of course, we've got racing memorabilia, but we have a bunch of other collectibles. We've got something from Alice Cooper, something from the Zac Brown
the
Band.
The rock star guy's got stuff?
Yeah.
Well, he likes golf, too, and he likes your daddy,
Yep.
so that makes sense. And y'all raise a lot of money for charity. I mean, that's the whole thing about the foundation. What kind of folks do you help?
Well, we like to help our community, but our mission is we like to help those who help others. So we do a lot with the Paralyzed Veterans of America and, of course, Victory Junction, hospice, and then, like I said, a lot of community
Y'all
things.
just do a great job. And the golf thing is going to be great. You've got, some athletes and other people, and just regular folks are going to compete too. And there's still time to get in there and become, I think, one of the teams that you can do that. So what I want to do, Brian's going to help me with this. We're going to put up a few things back to back just to remind people what we just mentioned. First, the cruise in. Let's go to the information on screen. Saturday, October 1st, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Petty's Garage, Level Cross. The information on screen, if you want to go to the website, pettys-garage.com. Now let's go to what Rebecca was just talking about, because I really want to put this up on screen and remind people, reinforce it. The Family Foundation, Petty Family Foundation, is sponsoring a dinner and auction. That's Tuesday night, October 4th, at Petty Enterprises. PettyFamilyFoundation.org has more information on it. And then we go to the Richard Petty Charity Golf Classic, Wednesday, October 5th, Sedgefield Country Club. Numbers up on screen. I believe that's area code 336-495-6643. To learn more about it, and really it's kind of neat if you want to sort of pay the fee to get in there and be a foursome, and it's going to be a lot of fun, isn't it?
It's a lot of fun.
Do you play golf?
I don't play golf, but I like to ride around on the golf cart and talk to everybody.
Well, my wife will be there too.
She can ride with me.
Yeah. Well, y'all get in trouble when you get together there.
We will.
Rebecca Petty Moffitt, Russ Stellfox. Thanks for doing this, folks.
Thank you.
Appreciate all the work
Thank
you
you
do
for
for
having
this.
us.
Oh, my pleasure. We'll be right back after this.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Back now on Triad Today, we have a very special guest with us. We wish we could get him here more often. He's a busy man. Lori Bates, our director. Let's meet our very special Dr. Franklin Gilliam. He's Chancellor, of course, at UNCG. And welcome back to the program, sir.
Yeah, great seeing you again.
See you. You haven't aged a bit in the last few months.
I've gotten a little grayer. It's like you see with the presidents. I started out, I was 39, and in a year I'm now 67.
That's right. Well, I do want to congratulate you on your first anniversary as Chancellor. I guess I want to ask you the typical question that I'm sure you got from all the press, which is what were your biggest challenges of the past year?
Well, of course, we had a lot of external challenges. And whether it was HB2 or Connect NC, both for different reasons, but again, sort of externally imposed. Internally, of course, the challenge was the renaming of the former ACOC auditorium.
That was a controversy.
And having a discussion in a civil and thoughtful way about what we ought to do as a university. So those were some of the challenges. The opportunities were, of course, I spent a year going around listening to folks, both alums and students and faculty, and came away very impressed, maybe even more so than when I had interviewed for the job, about the quality of the place.
You recently, not too long ago, you gave a State of the Campus address. So I may have misinterpreted something, so just correct me if I'm wrong, but in the speech, I remember there was something you said about, we're going to tackle whatever challenges face us, and we'll tackle them in baby steps.
That is not what I said.
Is that not what you said?
That's
Because
not.
I also heard that you said we're going to take things in giant steps. So I think the press got it wrong in one of the misprints or something. How are you going to...
What I said is you cannot tackle the challenges facing modern public higher education taking incremental steps, baby steps. You need to take giant steps. We need to think about how we get ahead of some of the issues, and indeed prepare ourselves for what's coming tomorrow.
Not just react when stuff
Not
goes
be
wrong.
play, it's the old don't play defense, play offense kind of thing. But the fact of the matter is, my friend Jim Johnson down at Chapel Hill, the demographer, has done a series of fascinating reports showing what the future looks like for the demography of this state. And the population and the students, therefore, are going to look quite different. And the challenges are going to be different. We have to be thinking about that. We have to be thinking about what kinds of jobs are going to be out there 10, 20 years from
So
now.
you can get ahead of the curve, and even to the extent of making sure curriculum is going to be relevant.
What do we need to teach the young people?
Yeah.
There's things today, for example, when you and I went to school, you didn't have to be much of a global citizen. People didn't communicate with people in other countries, and very few people traveled to other countries.
Right.
And of course now,
Different.
it's a global world.
In the State of the Campus address, and just in general, let me just ask you before time gets away, what are some of the accomplishments of the past year that you're proud of?
Well, very, very proud of a few things. First, of course, very thankful to the people of North Carolina to have the foresight to pass the Connect NC bond. In our case, it replaces a building I'm sure you're familiar with, the old McKeever building, which
Right.
is in disrepair, replaces it with a new nursing and STEM building, $105 million there. We're thrilled about that. We are having the grand opening of the new Kaplan Wellness Center next week, named
great.
after Leonard J. Kaplan, great citizen. His wife Toby, who unfortunately recently passed, donated $5 million. It's a fabulous, fabulous facility. The students are thrilled. They've been packed in there since the first day it opened. It's what modern universities have to, and by the way, it has teaching, it has servicing, stuff for the community, stuff for the staff. So we're thrilled about that.
I have a few seconds left. You and your wife both been great educators, and you've been in it a while. Do you still get excited about education?
Well, if you don't see that I'm fired up about
You are
it.
fired. I just thought you were mad at me.
As much as I enjoy being with you and find it stimulating, I'm extremely excited about where we are as a university. We're going to make big strides. We're going to contribute to Greensboro and to the Triad.
Good deal. Will you come back soon?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Good seeing you.
There's a website on screen, www.uncg.edu. Lots of good stuff on there. Check it out, and we will be right back.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills,
Check.
driver's license,
Check.
and a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Back now on Triad Today, and I have two guys I like to call Iron Men with me. Lori Bates, our director. Let's meet them right now. Next to me, of course, the very famous David Daggett, attorney with Daggett, Shuler Law. Well, he is Daggett, Shuler Law. So is the gentleman next to him, Daggett, Shuler Law, Griff Shuler. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim.
Griff has agreed to sit here and just sort of observe, but also comment on David personally, because this is going to be about David and his Ironman competition. Now, tell us again, for people who don't know David, what is Ironman?
Well, triathlon is the generic for swim, bike, run. Ironman is descriptive of the distance. That's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, 26.2 mile marathon run, all in one shot.
I want you to say that again, because I'm not sure you're not exaggerating that. Say it one more time.
No, a 2.4 mile swim,
All right,
rough water in the ocean,
right.
a 112 mile bicycle ride, and a 26.2 mile marathon run.
Golly, how long have you been competing in this stuff?
This is my 35th consecutive year of racing triathlons.
But now the big thing I understand is the biggie, as they say, is in Hawaii, and you're going to be doing that in a few weeks, couple weeks, going out
just
to
a couple
Hawaii.
weeks, yep.
But that won't be your first time there.
No, it'll be my 8th time doing the Ironman World Championships in Hawaii. It's the coolest event. It's a combination of the Super Bowl and the World Series all wrapped into one. I mean, it's the granddaddy of them all.
I mean,
And the thing is, Jim, just to break in, a lot of people may not realize this, you have to qualify for that. So you've got triathletes who are doing triathlons all through the year that are trying to get good enough times to be able to qualify for the World Championship in Hawaii.
So it's a pretty good honor
Once
then.
again qualified. It's a huge honor. It's not just a little honor.
It's one,
a huge honor.
if not it's one of the hardest amateur championship events in the world to qualify.
what does your regimen include other than running 1,000,000 miles a day? What do you do to get in shape?
Eat. Swim, bike, and run. Do some push-ups, chin-ups, and sit-ups. But watch my diet and keep a good attitude.
Griff, does this inspire you or upset you?
It inspires everybody who's around David. But I think one of the things that's pretty amazing about David, that you hear about a triathlon and what it takes to do it, and you hear about folks that do it. I think the thing that's pretty admirable about David is how he manages his life. And he doesn't allow the triathlon and the training for the triathlon to take over his life, and that's,
Well, some people do, and that's all they do.
They do, but one of the things that I think is most impressive with David and how he's constructed his life is that his work, his family, his spiritual life, and his triathlon all work together with him, and he's really very big about balance in his life.
I know that the two of you, and we've talked about this on the show before and had guests on here on how you've helped people, backpack programs and safety things and all sorts of things you're into, prom night safety. Is this sort of similar in the sense that, not that you go around bragging about it, but I know Griff brags on you, but do you think this sort of encourages people that you meet? Do you encourage them to be healthy and eat healthy and exercise as being part of-
I feel I've been an example in the healthy fitness community. I've spoken to youth groups anywhere from grade school classes through high school and college classes to civic groups, that sort of thing. And it can be an inspiring sort of thing, knowing that a ordinary slug like me can maintain some fitness and keep it going.
And of course, not to stretch a point, Griff, but I imagine too, you take a guy like me, it's overweight, I need to lose weight. I imagine I can avoid certain types of injuries in life if I stay fit. So there's a lesson in this that goes back to the kind of help that you give clients.
Sure, and there's life lessons all the way around. And David's being very modest. Being his law partner, I'm approached when he's not around quite often by people.
I'm approached when he's not around too, but we can't talk about that on TV.
But seriously, I'm approached by folks quite often that tell me that what he does with his triathlons are a real inspiration to them. And
Well, it really is. And good luck on what you're doing. Good luck on what you're doing.
Thank you.
When will you hang up your Ironman shoes? Have you set a date?
That's not in the foreseeable future.
Okay. For me, it's tomorrow.
I may be halfway on my career.
Halfway on your
35 years in, 35 to go.
Website, if you have questions about what these guys do in their business life and ways they can help you, the website is on screen, DaggettShulerLaw.com. And seriously, good luck. We're proud of you. And maybe when you get back, and we'll talk about it after that.
Good.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks,
Thanks, Jim.
All
Thanks for
right.
seeing you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
We'll be right back after this.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
Back now on Triad Today, and before I introduce my next guest, I'm going to introduce my next guest. Now, what I mean is he's like two people. Now see this image on screen. Lori and Brian, let's put this up. This is a scary looking thing right here, this guy. All right, now, Lori, I want you to take a shot of the man next to me. It's the same guy. So folks at home, it's the same guy. Eddie Maclaurin, who's owner of Woods of Terror, welcome back to the show.
All right, thank
Good
you.
to see you. Now I want to, first of all, congratulate you on being named one of the nation's best haunts. I mean, that's no small honor because there's a lot of great things out there.
No, it's good to get that after 25 years of working hard.
Yeah, and of course, we're about to start the 25th season
Yeah.
On September what, 23rd?
23rd.
23rd. How do you, I guess I want to ask you, sort of different from when you came before, but let me ask you, how do you keep things exciting after all this time and keep things scary? And, for you personally, how do you get up for it?
Well, we have several conventions as the year goes on, and we get to see other haunts. But for me, I think the biggest thing is as the show's going on, I'll watch the show, walk through the show, and I'll see what the people are reacting to and what they're not reacting to.
That's a good idea, kind of like movie producers do in Hollywood.
And I said, well, that didn't work, or this works. And then I've probably got 2 or 3 years of ideas ahead of me. So
yeah, and you can sort of tweak things as you need to, too.
Yeah, we can, as the show goes on, the show you see on September 23rd, will not be the same show at the end of the year. We tweak it and make it better.
Well, then that brings me to this. If I came on September 23rd, the opening of the season, hey, this is great stuff. It's not like, well, I don't want to go back. Actually, I want to go back because you're going to change some things around if I go back 2 weeks later.
A lot changes, and we have 50% new actors this year, and the actors learn, and the show gets better, and the maintenance crew gets better, and at the end of the season, we're clicking on all cylinders.
So you don't mind if I come 2 or 3 times?
All right, come as much as you want.
All right, now, of course you'd say that, but there was a press release that you sent out recently that said there's 25 reasons to come to us, see Woods of Terror on the 25th anniversary. And one of them said there's 150 monsters on site.
Yeah.
What kind of monsters do we see?
We've got all kinds of monsters. Of course, we're going to have clowns because that's all the rage right now.
That's scary.
Yeah, we have clowns, zombies, vampires, old vampires, new vampires, young zombies, fast-moving zombies.
The Jason stuff and the Freddy.
Yeah, we got the movie Maniacs, so we'll have Jason, Freddy.
And the thing is, I've been to places where, even wax museums and things, where things are not very realistic, not very scary. And yet, you've gone to a lot of trouble to get some professional folks, isn't it? I mean, the makeup is really scary and real, right?
Yeah, we've done a lot. I've brought in set designers before. I do a lot of the set design myself. I do have some great crew, have some great people. My head makeup artist, we sent her out to LA last year. She did some LA training, and of course come back and trained our actors with what she learned.
Did I hear there's an escape room that you're having this year?
Yep, opening up number 1 on September 23rd. Hopefully it'll open up another one 2 weeks later. But it's called The Mortuary, and it's a 50-minute experience, locked in a room, and you got to find your way out.
I feel like that every day for some reason, but we won't go into that. Now, who should come to the Woods of Terror and who shouldn't? Because I remember one time you and I were talking, and it's like people would think, oh, Eddie wants everybody to come. But that's not true.
No, we say 13 and under probably shouldn't come. We're not there to give kids bad dreams and make where they don't like Halloween. But so if your kid can watch The Conjuring and be okay, they can come. But if they can't watch The Conjuring, then they wouldn't come to the Woods of Terror.
And how long will the season run this year?
The season will run all the way to November 5th on the weekends, and as the season gets further in, we're open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're only open one Monday, which is Halloween.
Right, so it's going to vary, and that's why I want people to see this website on screen, because if you go to woodsofterror.com, it's up on screen now, they can find out about how the hours are going to change, and they should really check it before they go out there in case it's misting rain or you want to know if it's open or what day it's closed. And so you'll keep that updated, right, on the website?
If we do cancel, we'll put that up. But some nights we open a little earlier because the Saturday nights are so busy. And of course, to dodge the big lines, they might want to come on Friday or Sundays, but Saturday nights are huge.
And just so I'm not remiss in saying this, for people who just moved into the area, what is the address?
5601 North Church Street.
Okay, easy to get to.
Yep.
Eddie Maclaurin, thank you for this, and I'm kind of glad in the way you didn't dress up because it scares me.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Go to Woods of Terror. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the roundtable. In fact, it is. So let's get to it. On my right, immediate right, but always on the political left, Ogie Overman, that great broadcaster and journalist. Next to him, the great politician and public servant and broadcaster, my friend Dave Plyler, chairman of the county commissioners. Next to him, the great world-traveling philanthropist who's a founder of Helping Hands Consultants, Keith Granberry. Guys, I want to go to this first start with this topic, which I thought I really didn't want to get into, but the NCAA now has banned North Carolina from having any championship events for this year, next year, because of HB2. I agree with most of you guys that the bill was ill-conceived, it was written wrong, it should be repealed, but this really smacks of politics, and this is what I want to ask you guys about, because we're 50-some days away from the election. There's 22 states in the same position as this, and it seems like this thing is being targeted against Pat McCrory, who had nothing to do with writing the bill, but the NCAA is making a move instead of waiting for the court to make a decision. Ogie.
Jim, I disagree.
On
and
which
here's
part?
why. On the timeline, you've got to look at the timeline. On November 22nd, 2015, the NCAA issued an edict that said there will be no discrimination of any form allowed ever.
Yeah, they warned us.
They should have made the statement before the Final Four in Houston.
But they didn't.
Granted, they regret that now, and they have said Indiana's on call. Indianapolis didn't get any events. Houston is revisiting that law. Pence even signed into law. They had that religious objection law.
Yeah, so you don't think that they'll
let that one go. I think they did the right thing.
Not political.
Jim, this thing is crazy. How many billions of dollars are we going to lose before McCrory and Berger and Newton and these idiots wake up?
McCrory cannot repeal this. That's what the folks at home don't understand.
Billy Pulpit, Jim.
Yeah, I know. Dave, what do you think?
Well, it's natural and it's human thinking to say that it is political just weeks before the election. But it's not political. The NCAA does not get involved in politics. If they did, they couldn't exist. And at this stage of the game, I think we are dealing with a non-issue. It wasn't an issue for 50 years before it was passed, and it's really not an issue now, but it's an issue because somebody wants to keep it that way. And again, we're weeks away from the election. You take a position and hope that that's the one that'll get you elected.
Thank you, Miss Gerrymander, wherever you are. All right, Keith.
I think everything is political, honestly. That's just my view. And the NCAA is a business. At the end of the day, it is a billion-dollar business. The governor could have vetoed this.
Yeah, but it would have been overridden. You know that.
But he still could have vetoed it, and that would have been his way to say that I did not support it. Then he would have been able to go and maybe negotiate with the people who are making these decisions, saying, I vetoed it, I didn't believe in it, but he backed himself into a corner. Now here we are, and we're going to continue because the people in power don't believe in this bill.
And they're insulated through gerrymandering. They don't have to worry about what they say.
That's
All right,
exactly
guys,
right.
let's go to the State Board of Elections.
Corey's not.
Yeah, he's not. The State Board of Elections is complying now with a court ruling. They're expanding early voting days, but guys, Sunday voting was still left off the table. Very quickly, are you in favor of Sunday voting on the early voting? Ogie.
Here again, Jim, it's voter suppression. They know that the black churches get the vote out after church on Sunday. They get the people to the polls after church, and they know that. They surgically targeted black
and they don't want Sunday
precincts,
voting.
and they know it.
Dave, agree or disagree?
I disagree. I think that at this stage of the game, if you put 3 or 4 weeks out, or 2 or 3 weeks, or 15 weeks out, it makes no difference, just so you get people the opportunity to do what they want to do, and that's vote.
Keith.
You give people the opportunity to do what they want to do, and that's actually vote. Why are we taking days away from people to do something that is their constitutional right?
Yeah, doesn't make
Why
any
are we
sense.
doing that? Doesn't make sense to
You
me.
should be able to vote just about any time. All right, a couple questions about Hillary. She got collapsed and got sick supposedly from pneumonia. One quick question on that. Will her health become an issue as we get toward the election? Ogie.
No, I think that's not going to be an issue. The deplorable thing might linger, but the health issue will go away.
Dave.
I'd like to make a comment about the previous question.
All
My
right.
wife and I vote by absentee, so we can vote at midnight on Sunday, 11 o'clock on Sunday. It makes no difference.
Absentee, yeah.
Would you repeat that question?
Will Hillary's illness or health issues become an issue?
I thought that's what you would say again, but it's not an issue. We're all human.
All right, Keith.
It's not going to be an issue, but Trump is going to try to make it an issue.
All right, now, one other question about Hillary, and we'll move off of this, and we've never talked about this on the show before. Her being a woman, in the minds of voters of both parties or independents, do you think there are a lot of people out there who will not vote for a woman as their commander-in-chief? Ogie.
There's a segment of the Trumpladites that won't vote for a woman.
Dave.
My mother was my commander-in-chief. My wife is my commander-in-chief.
Yeah, that's right.
it.
Keith.
There are some people, I've heard a minister got on television and said that he couldn't vote because she's a woman, but the majority of people will, and I think it'll overcome all of the issues that Trump are having with minorities and women.
Very quickly, before I get to the final thing, Gretchen Carlson, the Fox anchor, said for years she was sort of sexually harassed, nothing physically done to her, but then when they don't renew her contract, all of a sudden she sues, and now they've given her $20 million. Guys, this boss of hers, Roger Ailes, was deplorable, I get that, and he said things he shouldn't have said. But are we hurting the legal system and future claims on people by giving somebody $20 million because suggested things were said to him? Is that too much, Ogie?
Well, I honestly don't begrudge it to her. He is such a scumbag.
Well, that's Dave. What do you think? Too much money?
Fox has billions of dollars, and $20 million doesn't mean a thing.
Keith.
Well, they were calculating her earned
what she
income,
would make,
what she would have made.
Yeah.
And we really don't know all the things that he probably did do.
No. Well, we don't know some of the things that Ogie has said to Keith.
I know it, deplorable.
And they are deplorable. I've got a basket of deplorables right next to me. There's 3 of them right there. That's all the time. That's all the time we have. Oh, I wanted to ask you guys a question, but I didn't get to it. We'll go to this anyway. Last week, a man in Kansas City defended his home and family when he threw a 50-inch TV at an armed gunman. Asked by police how much the burglar took before fleeing, the man said, "Well, we have cable phones and internet, so I guess he got a bundle." It's a marketing term, I guess. But for all of us here, we got stuff we'll move till next week. We'll cover it. I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you.